Aloha, beautiful souls. Welcome to another reading here at Transform with Rian. And today we are going to take a look at some fun facts about your future spouse. And already we have this beautiful card that's going to align your energies for today's reading about love and your future spouse. And let's all take a deep breath in and exhale to get into the right energetic state and frame of mind to receive these messages and this info, the 411 on your future spouse. So you have this beautiful heart here, and it says, if you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. For the heart is the gateway to the soul. Wow, so I feel like this is really tuning in to what you desire out of love and a relationship, not in your brain. And I feel like the message here, and I've mentioned it a few times on this channel, is tuning into how you want to feel when you are in a loving relationship, not thinking about the criteria of what a loving relationship looks like to you. Okay, so stepping away from the mind, stepping away from logic and what you think love should be like, and just feeling into it. How do you know you feel loved? How would you like your partner to make you feel? What things do they do to help you feel this way? All right, so that type of thing. And so focus in more on that versus like a checklist of what type of job they have, how they look, how old they are, those types of things. So let's get into your readings. We're gonna start as per usual with group number 1. So welcome group 1 to your reading to receive some fun facts about your future spouse. We have 3 cards here to kind of give us 3 fun facts, and we'll get some clarifiers with the tarot here. So your first little fun fact is the diamond. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. So what I see about your future spouse here, a fun fact about them, is their love language, or at least one of them. Some people have like a primary and a secondary love language, but one of their main love languages is gift giving, and also probably gift receiving. Oftentimes, the way people show love is the way they also like to receive love. So gifts is one thing that's big for them. Let's try to see what other information we can get about this. I know that's pretty straightforward, but I feel like there may be a deeper understanding or a deeper piece of information and knowledge that would be helpful. Oh wow, I wanted 3 cards and 3 jumped out. So let's see what these 3 cards are. We have 5 of coins, King of swords, and 4 of coins. Wow. Okay, so I'm seeing here with this gift giving is there's some meaning and some symbolism behind gift giving here. Now, what I'm seeing with this is that it's not so much about the money actually for them, because what I'm seeing here is they didn't have as much money growing up as they would have liked. And they probably, what I'm getting is that they grew up in not quite middle class, like they were somewhere in between poor and middle class. So not exactly well off. There was some financial hardships for them growing up in life. I'm hearing that perhaps one of their parents, like the father figure, did not have maybe a steady income. Like the income wasn't reliable. Maybe the father wasn't even in the picture, you know, and maybe it was like on occasion they would get gifts from their father whenever they could scrape some money together. And that was sort of that love language and the communication between their father to be like, okay, like this gift is a symbol that my father cares for me, even though he's not really in the picture or not really involved or not around, not emotionally available for me very often. And so they saw this as their way of receiving love from this father figure in their life. Okay, it was when they got a gift. And so that's part of the reason why gift giving means so much to them. It's because that's one of the rare forms of love and affection that they received from their father figure. Okay, and again, the money wasn't very abundant for them growing up, and so any kind of gift meant a lot. So even though there's a diamond here, which is a very expensive type of gift, I feel like this person actually really appreciates more heartfelt, sentimental types of gifts. It's a way of showing to them that, hey, I'm thinking about you and I care about you enough to get this item for you. And it's not even so much about like birthdays and Christmas, so not and Valentine's, not when you're obligated to give your partner a gift. It's more just like these little gifts that show up on just any ordinary day that means so much to them. Now, with this, I feel with the Four of Coins, again, this speaks a little bit to the degree of poverty that they had growing up, where whatever money that was in excess after buying food, paying the bills, was often locked away, saved up, because again, the cash flow was not very steady or regular. And so there wasn't really a lot of opportunities to be very frivolous with money in their life, in their past. And money to them, I'm seeing now here too, money to them is one of their traps, okay? It's one of their measures of feeling secure. Like, money is important to everybody, right? Because that's how we pay for food, that's how we pay for clothing, that's how we pay for rent or cell phone bills, like those types of things. But I'm seeing they tend to worry a lot about money, again, because of their upbringing. And when they can worry about money a little less and get a gift for you or receive a gift from you, it really means a lot to them. Again, I'm hearing like very simple things, like even if it's like a gift card to a coffee joint or to a restaurant, that type of thing. So that goes a long way for them. Now, let me put these cards to the side here and let's reveal the second fun fact about your future spouse. We have Dr. Octopus. Being right never feels wrong. Wow, that's a very interesting statement, huh? Being right never feels wrong. So, I'm getting here that your future spouse is one of those people that doesn't like to lose an argument, okay? They're one of those people that they feel very passionate and they feel very strongly about their opinion and their response, their answers to things. And they don't really like being wrong, okay? I'm getting that they're very smart because, Dr. Octopus is a villain in the Marvel Universe, and however bad he behaves or whatever twisted intentions he has, he's still a very brilliant man, okay? He's still very smart. And so I see here that your future spouse, I said that all funny. I see here that your future spouse is very intelligent, very smart. And so, that intelligence, it's not that it's unwarranted, but sometimes it's kind of like they let it get to their head, right? And then they always think they're right. And I feel like sometimes they need to have a taste of humble pie, okay? I'm also getting that they're a bit competitive, like when it comes to games, like board games or something. I'm not getting so much sports. I feel like anything that has to do with intellectual ability, right? Like, I don't know, maybe they even do like crossroads. Wow, mom, that's still not what I meant. Crossword puzzles or like Sudoku, like they want to get all the answers right. Even like trivia. I can see them being like a big trivia person. And, when they play these types of games where it comes to flexing your intellectual muscles, they really get competitive. Like they really like to win. Okay, now let's see what these clarifiers have to say. We have the Hierophant. So there's definitely this bit of righteousness. Okay, so in Old Index, that sounds so weird. In Old Index, instead of like in olden days, right? So the Hierophant was actually the Pope card, okay? And so there's this like righteousness about them where it's like, I'm right, you're wrong, this is how it is, especially even maybe when it comes to moral issues where, kind of depending on your point of view, you could be right or you could be wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? But their morality is a very big thing for them, like morals and ethics. That's also something they really fight for, and they uphold to the strongest degree. We also have the Lovers card. I feel like there's no special treatment when it comes to you. They hold you to the same standard that they hold everyone else to. I'm hearing too that you probably won't get away with a lot of things. I'm really feeling like your future spouse isn't afraid to call you on your mess. You know what I'm saying? They're not afraid to call you out. Um, and I feel like they expect the best out of you. They have high expectations of you. Maybe they're even like a Virgo. Virgos are known to be a bit critical of others, and that, definitely rubs people the wrong way. But but Virgos also hold themselves to that same standard. So they're, yes, they can criticize others, but they also criticize themselves a lot. Probably more so than they criticize others even. You know what I'm saying? Now here with the Nine of Coins, I'm seeing here that them being right has a lot of value for them, okay? So their morals and their ethics mean a lot to them. And if they don't uphold these standards for themselves and they don't uphold these standards with other people, it's like they really have this crisis of identity here. Do you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, when it comes to doing the right thing. For example, like when I'm getting this like story that's playing out here, where sometimes when you get invited to something and you don't really want to go, like some people make up some kind of excuse, right? Like, oh, I'm busy that day, or I already have plans, or oh, I have to work late, right? Like, sometimes people make these kinds of excuses so they can get out of doing something that they didn't want to do. And I feel that your spouse doesn't really like to do that. Like, they like that honesty, okay? Because they feel like if they maybe start saying these white lies or making up these excuses about what they're doing, then it's like, they can't, they have to practice what they preach. Do you know what I'm saying? So they want to hold that moral high ground. So they don't want things thrown back in their face where it's like, oh, if they catch someone in a lie, they don't want the fact that they maybe had lied in the past to get thrown back in their face. Does that make sense? It's kind of like this morality thing, right? They don't want anything that they do to be used against them. So that's why they're so like high strung and maybe a little bit uptight. Okay. Like, I feel like, and this isn't without its like charms and its benefits and its like heartwarming nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they're that type of person when they're getting rung up, and if by mistake someone forgot to charge them for something and they don't realize it right away to call it out, like even if they're walking and they're like, oh my gosh, like when they're checking the receipt when you guys get back home, like, oh, they forgot to charge me for this, like they'll feel really bad about that. And I feel like, maybe they won't go back to the store necessarily and like try to whatchamacallit, correct this receipt error or this transaction error, but I feel like they might do something that kind of like makes up for it. Like maybe whatever they didn't get charged for, like if someone forgot to charge them for like a $5 bag of candy or something, right? That they'll give that $5 to some like donation charity, or the next time they go into the store, like there's a grocery store here on the West Coast called Safeway, and there's always some type of fundraiser or charity event that they're advocating for. So when I check out on the kiosk, it says, would you like to donate like $1, $5, $10 to such and such charity today, right? It always asks me that. It prompts me that when I check out with my card. Like, I feel like your future spouse is like, okay, they forgot to charge me $5 for this bag of candy last time I was here, so this time I'm going to give this $5 to charity when I check out. Does that make sense? Super specific example, I know, right? But I feel like your future spouse, even though they always want to be right, it's because they value, ethics and morals, right? And they hold themselves up to the same standard that they hold everyone else to. Again, maybe even more strictly. So let's see what this third fun fact is. We have the thinking man. So this really supports what I was talking about earlier, that they are really smart, like we were talking about with Dr. Octopus. But I feel like obviously there's another angle here that we're going to be looking at with their intelligence. I'm hearing that they're definitely college or university educated. Maybe some of them even have like a master's degree or a doctorate. Okay, they really have the book smarts things down. Okay, again, they probably really enjoy puzzles. I'm getting that type of sense. They like puzzles, they like putting things together, they like a good mystery, Maybe when they read books, they enjoy mystery novels or thrillers or suspense, things that are kind of exciting and get their brain going. They don't like dull things. They don't like predictability, right? Like, I feel like I can see them at a movie, and if they can kind of predict what's going to happen next, or the plot seems like super cliche and like so easy to follow, like, they don't like it. Okay, they don't like this predictability, this sort of like, this doesn't even make sense, they're just making things up now. Like, that's really not their jam. And we have, oh my god, we have the lovers again. What? That's insane. So I see here that they want someone who is of the same or similar caliber of intelligence as they are. Again, they like having very deep intellectual conversations. I'm getting the sense that they're not the type of person that really enjoys like celebrity gossip. And they don't really like just like sharing news, like for example, my parents, they just like to share news. Like, did you hear on the news that this happened in Florida? Or did you hear this on the news that this person, that this company's been laying people off? Like, like, they don't like talking about that stuff like on surface level. They like going deep. Like, if you're gonna bring up a piece of news about it, like, they want to hear about like, what's the controversy behind it? Like, how did they get away with it? What does this mean for society as a whole? Like, they like to just go deeper with things, right? Like, what is the impact of this event? Not just like spitting out and regurgitating information. Oh yeah, that's a good way to put it, right? They're not really interested in conversations where it's just spitting back information that you heard, and because then to them maybe it even comes off as like a little bit gossipy. Do you know what I'm saying? News or not, they like to have deep conversations here. Now with the magician and the Nine of Wands, oh, this one's kind of interesting. What is this one all about? Let me let that sit for a second, and let's go to the magician here. So I feel like this really speaks to their love of puzzles, all right? So the magician energy, they're someone that can really pull a lot of things together and create something new, okay? So it's like they pull on the elements, earth, fire, wind, or air, and water, and they mix it and create something new. That's what the magician card depicts in a lot of tarot decks. And so they like to be able to pull things together to like solve problems, create new things. So that's why they love these puzzles. Because it really calls them to draw on everything that they know, or even like trivia, right? Because it asks them to draw on everything that they know about all different areas of life to solve this puzzle or to win the game. There's this game. Why am I blanking on the name of it? But it was very popular for a while now, and it's like there's different tasks. So there's one task where you have to hum or sing something out, and people have to guess, or that you get like this little pile of clay and you have to mold something and people have to guess what it is. There's a part that has to do with trivia. There's a part where you have like multiple choice questions. And I feel like you have to collect one card from each of these different categories in order to win the game. Let me know in the comments down below if you remember what the name of that game is or if you've heard of it before, because I can't remember for the life of me. But they would enjoy a game like that, that really utilizes all of their skills. You know, as a matter of fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if they love obstacle courses as well. Or even, oh my God, this is so perfect for them, y'all, escape rooms. Yes, with the magician, like it's like they love pulling that Houdini, right? Where it's like you can escape any puzzle, any trap. And so they must love escape rooms. And if they haven't gone to any escape rooms, I bet they would really love that as a kind of date that you would take them on, okay? Now, with this Nine of Wands, what is going on here with this Nine of Wands? You know, I feel again, there's a little bit of insecurity surrounding them, all right? Around their self worth. And they really pride themselves on their intelligence, okay? So we talked about money and like maybe money was not something that was in abundance in their youth. Maybe their father figure wasn't present at all or was like kind of. There but not really there in their life. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like their intelligence is one of the things that they pride themselves on again, and that, you know, losing something really gets quite a blow on them. It's kind of like a blow to their sense of self. And yeah, of course, it could be a blow to their ego, right? But it hits them really hard, you know? Again, there's that competitive streak in them. So, you know, if you find yourself in a position where you win against them, don't gloat, okay? Just be a gracious winner, a gracious victor. Wow, this is a really interesting reading to hear more fun facts about your future spouse. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Let me know down in the comments below what you really adore most about your future spouse, and that will help in attracting them, like already pouring that love into them, sending that loving energy about them. So whatever it was in your reading about them that you enjoyed, comment it down below, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you again so very much for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. For those of you that let the ads play, that means a lot to me as well. So thank you for doing that. I can not be thankful enough. So I look forward to connecting with y'all soon. See y'all later. Bye. Hey there, group number 2. Welcome to your reading to find out some fun facts about your future spouse. So we have 3 cards here to get us started, and we'll pull some tarot as well to get some clarifiers. But we're going to start here with the Axe. Forces working against you. Let's pull the tarot out. I'm getting some sort of hits on this, but let's pull some tarot out to get a little bit more of a direction on where we should discuss things first, okay? So let's get one more card about this Axe to kind of clarify this. I feel like they got in some type of trouble before, and I feel like that could be varying degrees of seriousness. Is that a word? I believe that's a word. Varying degrees of severity. Maybe that's a better word, right? So like maybe, you know, in school they got suspended, or maybe they got traffic tickets or a DUI before. Maybe they had their driver's license suspended, or maybe they even had to spend time locked up. Like, I don't even know, right? I know that's not like super flattering to hear, but you know, I feel like well, first of all, I feel like everyone deserves to find love. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like some people, like, they make mistakes in life and they learn from it, and that doesn't make them bad people. And it makes me think of, too, how with a lot of the new testing that they had for DNA testing, that a lot of people are getting free, you know, that who were wrongfully imprisoned. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's probably more of what it is. There's definitely some element of being wrongfully accused or wrongfully punished for something. Like maybe they took the rap for someone else. Like they were covering for a family member or for a good friend. And again, this doesn't, like, the legal thing is like an extreme example. I would say it's probably a rare case for some of you that are watching this reading. But I feel like more like maybe they got trouble at work, or they got fired or put on probation at work because they were covering for a friend or another coworker. Do you know what I'm saying? Or maybe it could even be like, I'm thinking of those family dramas where like one person in the family keeps the secret of someone else in the family and then they get in trouble for it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I covered for you when you snuck out the other night to go meet up with your boyfriend, and I got in trouble because of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Or you crash mom and dad's car when you don't even have a license, but I'll cover for you. I'll say I did it, right? Like something like that. I feel like a lot of it was something very noble that they had done. I feel like that's the majority of the case. Now, of course, there's some people who just mess up and do things like, there was someone that I dated before who I found out after we'd gone on a few dates that they weren't allowed to go back into Canada or Vancouver because they have a DUI on the record. Thankfully, they didn't hurt anybody, right? But I didn't know that, going up to Canada, if you have a DUI on your record, like you're not allowed to come into the country. Like it was pretty strict. So, something like that. Now, let's see what these clarifiers are. We have the Chariot. So I feel definitely there is something involving some type of travel or some type of vehicle, right? Again, maybe they got speeding tickets, or they got a DUI, or they got in a car accident before or something, And we have the Six of Swords here. Again, movement on this boat. So definitely travel, something travel. And we have Eight of Coins. So I feel like they got in trouble with their studies. Like maybe they were caught cheating on a test. Okay. And so they got in trouble with that. So they had to work extra hard. Okay. So this force is working against you. So they had to work extra hard to make up for their mistakes or their errors, or when they covered for somebody, right? So their reputation was tarnished. And I don't know why I laughed at that. It's just, tarnished reputation makes me think of like Victorian age era and like Bridgerton and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I feel like, they had to work a little bit extra hard to clear their name, for example, or prove that they're not what everybody gossips about them behind their back, or what a lot of people just assume about them, or stereotypes about them. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's also making me think of like, I'm watching this show right now. It's kind of old, but it's Quantico, right? And in it, the main character, she was training to be an FBI agent, and then this like bombing happened, and now she's being framed for the one that did the bombing, right? So she has to clear her name. And so I feel like there's some element of that happened in your future spouse's past, or maybe something that's kind of haunting them to this day, Oh my gosh, it's like making me think, I know what you did last summer, like that type of thing. Even though, of course, that's like super dramatic and that's probably so far from real life. But it's kind of making me think of that, Wow, very interesting. I love it. A lot of character here with your future spouse. Let's see what this card is now. We have Kitty Pryde. We all begin somewhere. So definitely maybe there's been a need to have some fresh starts, rebuild, start anew in your future spouse's life. And I feel like, maybe they had to move to a new place to start all over, like reinvent themselves, right? I'm also, I don't know why with your reading, I'm getting all these like flashes of like stories that I read in a book or that I've seen in like movies. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like someone moves somewhere else and they're like the new person in town, and no one knows much about their past, about their histories, because they're trying to escape it. Okay. I'm also getting like maybe it even has something to do with their family, right? Like they had to leave because their family had some really bad publicity. Yeah, very, very interesting, right? Yeah, definitely getting that. I feel like we need to clarify, okay? There's more information here that will help explain what this fun fact is all about. We should take these two cards. So we have here for you the Five of Cups. So there was maybe some type of tragedy, okay? Either in their life or in their family, right? That caused them to have to maybe start over, right? I'm getting something like this. Like maybe there was a divorce or one of their parents passed away. I'm thinking to like armed forces, even, right? Where maybe the parent that was serving in the armed forces died in action or something like that, right? And so the family had to start all over, okay? Like even with a divorce or a separation, like maybe because their parents split up, they had to move away with with the parent that got custody of them or something like that, right? To start all over, and it's kind of like a bit of an origin story for them, right? Where they had to really claim who they are. They had to rise above this challenge in their life and really step up to the plate and be who they are meant to be. Okay? Here with the movement, I definitely see that they did move on up in the world, okay? Some of them, of course, they had to literally move somewhere else, like when their parents split or something. But I feel like we all begin somewhere. You know, Kitty Pryde is one of the characters that is famous for being, you know, one of the new recruits in the X-Men. She was sort of the only new recruit on the team at that time before like Professor X opened the school for gifted youngsters and like there was the New Mutants. So she was like the newbie X-Man, the rookie, and she had to learn the ropes. And now, you know, in the comics, she's the leader of her own team and she's like on the council of mutants. So she has like this leadership role, this governmental role even. So she rose on up, and I feel like that's what happened here with your future spouse. So yes, there could have been movement, like physically moving homes and stuff, but also I feel like they moved on up in their life, okay, despite whatever tragedy happened, because we have the Six of Wands here. So that's a symbol for victory, rising above the challenges, being recognized, okay. And we have the Ten of Cups. So happily ever after. I feel like that's a very, very good card about this. I feel like they actually see you as one of their triumphs in life. That despite whatever happened to them in their youth, like the fact that they were able to find love and have a happily ever after with you is just a testament to how hard they're willing to work to rise above what challenges life through their way. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they're really not going to take your relationship for granted. And that they see that with your relationship, that this is an opportunity to build something long term, to build a beautiful life together. Okay, just like they were able to, you know, build something of themselves professionally, even career-wise, out of nothing, out of struggle. You know, like maybe they even had some heartbreak in the past. They were let down by their exes, but with you, they really feel like they hit the jackpot and that they never gave up on love, and now they're able to be with you, their life partner. Oh, that's so beautiful. They are definitely, you know, I say on the channel, it's never too late for happily ever after. And they're definitely that person who fights for their happily ever after and never stops believing in it. Oh, I love that about them. That's so sweet. That's so amazing, inspiring. Let's see what this last card is. Angel of Strength. Wow, I love how this is all so aligned. So, super strong character, very fierce. They were not beat down by life, and, they got up and they kept fighting. There's that saying, it's like, success isn't about like whatever it is that you've achieved. Success is getting back up. Okay, success is all about how many times you get back up rather than staying down. Oh, beautiful. I love that. Let's get one more card here. So to clarify this Angel of Strength, we have 2 of Coins, the 10 of Swords, and the 5 of Swords. So what I'm seeing here is that, again, life threw a lot of obstacles in their path, okay? And when a lot of people were like, oh, this is it, this is the end, I give up, like I'm not gonna go anymore, I'm just gonna go back to doing this, or I'm gonna change directions, this is too hard, I give up. Like, they didn't, because they're like this phoenix that even when most people would throw in the towel, give up, they will rise up from that, the ashes. I feel there's almost like there can't even be like a stubbornness about them. It's like this line between being hopeful and optimistic to this stubbornness as well, right? Like they're just too stubborn to know when to quit, because again, they kind of believe in this happily ever after. They believe everything will work out, everything will balance itself out here. I feel like, one of their viewpoints in life is when obstacles come their way, it's not a deterrent. It's more of like a challenge issued by God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it, to say, how bad do you want this? How far are you willing to go to get this, right? And so they are definitely that type of person that rises up to any challenge. They're not a quitter, not by a long shot. What I'm actually seeing, because we have this sort of angel-like figure here and this angel here in the background, is they definitely have some type of guardian angel. It could even be like an ancestor of theirs that guards and watches over them from the spiritual realm, from the spiritual plane. And they may or may not believe in it, but whether or not they believe in it, it's true that they do have someone guarding them, okay, and protecting them. And I feel like there's this element of luck in their life. Yeah, they're not a quitter. Yeah, circumstances make them seem maybe unlucky at times, right? But they still manage to pull it off at the very end. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the last, 15, 20 minutes of a movie or a show when it's like, oh, like, are they gonna give up? Is all hope lost? And then bam, something happens, some lucky break happens, and it's like they can move forward. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like your future spouse experiences that a lot in life because of this guardian angel. They always kind of throw them a bone, throw them a little help, a little aid, when it seems like, they're gonna lose. And that's really fortunate. That's very lucky. So I love that. Oh, I hope you really enjoyed this reading, loves. To find out more fun facts about your future spouse, let me know what you like most about them, okay? Claim that energy, call that in, let them know that you love this quality, this fact about them down in the comments below, and that will magnify them even closer to your life for your happily ever after, okay? Because of course you deserve it as well. And before you go, just thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and extra special thanks if you allow the ads to play when you watch this video, because this goes a long way into supporting the growth of my channel and content creation. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, loves. Take care. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey there, Group 3. Welcome to your reading to find out some fun facts about your future spouse. We are going to start here with this Apple card. Temptation will test you. So I'm getting some vibes here that your future spouse kind of has these guilty pleasures, okay? Maybe they're like a sweets addict, okay? Like they love desserts, they love candy, maybe they love fried foods, maybe they have like they like to collect things, like buy action figures, collectibles, trading cards, coin collection. Like they have some type of guilty pleasure that they maybe spend a lot of money on. Maybe it's something that's not the best for their health, right? Like, I don't know, maybe they're a smoker. Maybe they like to have a drink of wine every night or a beer every night or something like that. There's something that, some people may view as like a vice that they have, okay? And that's kind of like a big role in their life, right? Something that they have a very, very hard time resisting if they even think to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm sensing there's some guilty pleasures here. But what kind of guilty pleasures could that be? Or what other information can we find about these temptations in their life? Wow, okay. I guess we got 4 cards coming through here for y'all. So we have 2 of Wands, King of Wands, 6 of Swords, and 8 of Coins. Okay, very, very interesting here. So I'm seeing here that they actually are aware of these temptations and how that it might not be the best for them, right? It might not be the best for their finances, the best for their health, but again, maybe they have a hard time resisting. I see here too that whatever this vice is, it's something that maybe people find very charming about them, okay? Like my sister really loves video games, right? And it's like, if you're ever in doubt as to what type of gift to get her, you won't go wrong with like a gift card that she can use to buy a video game, right? Or go to like GameStop or something. So like that's her hobby or her vice. I say sometimes it can be a vice because, she has to collect all these things, right? Like one of the things that she likes to get is when she buys a video game, there's like this strategy guide. For all of my gamers out there, you know what I'm talking about. It comes with a strategy guide. Like there's this deluxe package for the video game. So even though she really just plays the game and she doesn't ever really look at the strategy guide or references it, she's like, she just has to have the strategy guide because she just likes having that deluxe collectible edition, right? So there's this like charming aspect and it has its benefits because again, a type of gift to get her that would mean a lot to her. But there's also sort of this, like in their mind, they also kind of justify it, right? Well, I just have to have it because what if I do get stuck on something and I need that strategy guide, right? And it just doesn't make sense because if I bought them separately, it would cost more. And I do save a little bit of money if I just buy them both together in the deluxe package, right? So there's this sort of like rationalization, this convincing that they do to justify it, right? Like, oh, of course I need to have a dessert today because I skipped, breakfast, and so I'm on a caloric deficit, right? And so they just like go crazy with dessert even, right? And you're like, okay, if you're counting calories here, I bet that fried ice cream carries way more calories than that slice of toast with peanut butter that you usually eat in the mornings, right? So it's very interesting that the way they convince themselves and justify to themselves and others like how it's okay for them to continue to indulge in this this guilty pleasure of theirs, which again is not super serious for a lot of them. I feel here with the Six of Swords, this is about the mind, about how you think about things. And so this is speaking to, again, like how they justify things to themselves in their minds. With this Eight of Coins, though, this part right here is very, very interesting. So I feel like, oddly enough, they learn a lot about their vices, right? So maybe if they're like addicted to caffeine, like they know a lot of stuff about coffee, right? They know about like the different types of soils that coffee grows in and how it influences the flavor, like Arabica coffee, Colombian coffee. Like they know a lot about it. They know how to properly do like a French press, let the coffee like, what is the word for it? Like when it sits, is it percolate? I don't even, oh my gosh, I don't even know for sure. But you know, they like know these interesting things about it. Like they kind of go even further than most people will go, right? Like they know, like if we're going back to the coffee example, like they know exactly um, what about the soil, like what components of the soil bring about that flavor. They know about like which companies are the best or which have the best flavor profiles, right? Like with the wine, like if they love having a glass of wine or like beer, like they just go and get artisan beer, or they like go to, like I went to this wine convention once actually in Boston. It was super duper fun. It was lovely to look at all the different bottles of wine. And I found some really good flavored wine, but interestingly enough, like my favorite flavor of wine, like it wasn't even available in Boston. It was only available in a certain state, and I could never find like a wine place that had this particular bottle of wine. I think it's called Pandemonium or something like that. I don't even drink wine anymore because it's starting to give me headaches, but they're that type of person that knows a lot about it, right? That goes to show how far their kind of influence or interest is when it comes to their guilty pleasure. Okay. So let's see what this next thing is. We have, oh, yay, Storm, one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. I'm just waiting for the day when X-Men finally makes it to the MCU. Like, let me know if you're waiting for the same thing too, and let me know in the comments down below who is your favorite X-Men character. My personal favorite is Psylocke. So I'd love to hear what your favorite character is, although Storm is like pretty awesome. So Storm, unleash the thunder. Ooh, so I feel like your future spouse has a lot of passionate energy within them. They care a lot of passion. So not only for their guilty pleasures, of course, but I feel like too, like they're that type of person, you know, there's certain things that really rile them up and get them going, okay? You know, it's like, why can't you just use a coaster, for crying out loud, when you drink, right? They're a real stickler for certain things. Or like recycling or composting. Like they're just like a huge advocate, and they really get riled up about it when it comes to certain qualities in another person, or certain ways to act and carry yourself or whatever. I also get too that their fury, like it's like that phrase, like there's no greater fury than a woman scorned, or there's no greater wrath than a woman scorned. I don't remember if it's wrath or fury. Maybe you know. Comment down below. But like if you really burn them or you hurt them, or someone that they care about, like, oh, it is on and cracking. Like this is, I'm feeling very much like mama bear, papa bear kind of energy, where they're like, again, I said woman scorn, like it could be a man too, right? But I feel like, oh, it takes a lot for them to forgive any wrongdoing here. We have the Four of Swords, the Magician, and the Tower. Oh, we have, look, lightning, lightning, lightning here, and lightning with storm. So I definitely hear that your future spouse, you know, they say like maybe they could forgive you, but they never forget. I feel like with your future spouse, like, oh my gosh, if you wrong them, good luck trying to get their forgiveness. Like, I feel like your future spouse is someone that can definitely hold a grudge. Like with this, with the Four of Swords, when I saw this card, what I'm hearing is like they will not let it rest. Okay? Meaning, if there is something that shady going on, or if there was someone's lying, cheating, stealing, behaving badly, whatever, it's like, oh my gosh, they will not let it drop. They will hold it against you for as long as they know you. Like, legit. So do not cross this person's path. That's all I have to say here. And be on your best behavior when you're around them, because they will not tolerate no kind of nonsense. I feel like here too, with the tower, there's a finality to it. Like if you really break their trust, if you really hurt them, like they don't really give second chances. That's what I see here, like again, forgiveness is going to be really hard for them to do. And if by some miracle they are able to forgive you, like they won't let you back into their life. It's like a done deal. It's like that. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Oh, sorry. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like they're not about getting fooled twice. They don't want to be played for a fool. Okay. Here with the magician energy, I feel like they really, it's interesting because the magician, it's often seen as a manifester, right? Someone like who can create things out of nothing, who can make things happen for themselves. And that's like one of its light aspects, right? It's like virtues. But here I'm feeling like it's the flip side of the magician, where it's like that trickster energy, okay? That shapeshifter energy that comes with the god Mercury, who's represented by the magician. So Mercury's a shapeshifter in mythology. And so this one thing that they do not tolerate at all is lies and deceit. Okay? Like they are not down with that in any way, shape, or form. So if you lie to them, just consider it over. Like your ties are broken, you're cut off. Wow. I mean, totally cool. I get it. I totally get where they're coming from. I don't like being lied to either. Now, what else do we have here about fun facts? We have the temple path. Ooh, so I sense that they are very spiritual or religious, whatever they identify more with. So they're a very spiritual or religious person. Let's kind of see more about this. What else can we discover about their spirituality, their religion? Okay, so I see here with the hangman that they had something really major or something really big happen in their life that really kind of guided them onto that spiritual or religious path. Maybe some might even consider them like a born again Christian type of thing, where they had some terrible thing happen to them and it was sort of their heart opening, soul awakening, eye opening thing, okay? And there's been a lot of spiritual awakenings happening all over the world in the last few years here as people were getting challenged outside of their comfort zone, right? And their sense of security was being shaken to its core. So definitely something happened to them that was a catalyst, if you will, for them to start on that spiritual or religious path, because I get the sense that they weren't really super religious or spiritual before that. And here with the Queen of Coins, I see that there's this very loving side, and that really stems from their spiritual nature or their religious nature, right? Even though, again, some religions and spiritual beliefs are all about that forgiveness element. I wouldn't say that's one of their strengths. Let's just say that. But they are definitely that type of person that believes in doing charity work, helping out the less fortunate, okay? Right? So, you can say whatever you want to say about people who are super religious, super spiritual, but there is still some good things that they do in the world, right? Charity things, supporting people that are poor, that are ill, right? So they still do very good things in the world. And I feel like that is something that your future spouse really takes away from their spiritual and religious nature, is to be charitable towards others and to do their part to help take care of people, like the community and humanity as a whole, right? And I think that's very noble. I think that's very beautiful. We have here Six of Cups. Wow. So what I'm seeing here is there's some type of fantasy element happening here in their life. Okay. They're dreaming. They have some type of dream of how the world can look like, how the world can be. It's making me think of this song. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Right? Do you know that song? Or even like, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. So they I'm seeing now so clearly that they envision a better world where people don't starve, where people aren't homeless, where people all have access to education, clean water, respect, right? Basic human rights. And that's part of the motivation for them, and why they're such actually a very good person, okay? And now I'm starting to understand about this like deceit and the lies thing here, because I just feel like they don't want to be bogged down with this, because they feel like their energy and their time can go to more worthy causes, that they can go to helping people, right, who in their mind maybe deserve help. And they don't want to waste time with people who are just going to lie to them and not be honest or faithful. That type of energy, right? They believe in this beautiful future, this beautiful world where people aren't lying or self-serving in that way. Yeah, because actually a lot of times what I'm seeing here is that most of the time lies only benefit the person telling them, right? Like maybe we can convince ourselves to say like, oh, we're lying because we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, but really we're benefiting from it as well, from telling that lie. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's some insight into the way they think. Wow, your future spouse is a super deep person, multifaceted. I love it. I love it. Even though they have some vices, they're still a very great person. Oh, I love it. This was such a great reading, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Let me know what aspect of your future spouse you appreciate or love the most. Let's amplify that love energy so you can connect with them if you already haven't. Like send those transmissions out there to the universe like, hey, I love my future spouse so much. This is what I love about them, right? And that could be a powerful tool to manifest them. Before you go, again, never forget, it's not too late for your happily ever after. And I thank you so much for joining me today for your reading. Thank you for supporting this channel. If you let the ads run while you watch, extra special thanks for you supporting this channel and content creation. I really, truly appreciate it, y'all. I'll see you next time. Have a beautiful day. Take care.